Last Thursday, President Obama gave a major speech on counterterrorism policy. He admitted that the U.S. can't remain at war forever.
Our systematic effort to dismantle terrorist organizations must continue. But this war, like all wars, must end.
He proposed additional oversight for the drone program.
I've asked my administration to review proposals to extend oversight of lethal actions outside of war zones that go beyond our reporting to Congress.
He called for the repeal of the 2001 authorization for the use of military force.
So I look forward to engaging Congress and the American people in efforts to refine and ultimately repeal the AUMF's mandate.
And he restated his desire to close Guantanamo.
I once again call on Congress to lift the restrictions on detainee transfers from Gitmo.
The president deserves credit for his position on these issues. However, while calling for the protection of civil liberties for American Muslims, he failed to address his administration's involvement via the CIA in the NYPD spying program. We'll be watching to see how the president's words translate into actions. Senator John McCain, a strong supporter of American intervention in the Syrian conflict, quietly snuck into Syria over the weekend with General Salim Idris, a leader of the Free Syrian Army. They met with rebel fighters and commanders, and General Idris put in a substantial request for support from the U.S. According to the Daily Beast, the general asked for weapons and ammunition, anti-tank missiles and anti-aircraft weapons, a no-fly zone, and strategic strikes against Hezbollah both inside Lebanon and inside Syria. Yikes! That would involve the U.S. attacking not one but two sovereign countries and risking regional chaos. The Syrian conflict is a tragedy and deserves our attention, but instead of weapons, the focus should be on providing desperately needed humanitarian support. While Senator McCain was sneaking into Syria, his sidekick Lindsey Graham was sneaking a profiling amendment into the Gang of Eight's immigration reform bill. Senator Graham's amendment would force the Department of Homeland Security to conduct additional security screening on immigrants from any region or country known to pose a threat or that contains groups or organizations that pose a threat to national security. Sound familiar? It's basically a reinstatement of NSEERS, a Bush-era policy that imposed extra scrutiny on immigrants from Arab and Muslim countries. Sadly, it passed the Senate Judiciary Committee and now moves on for consideration by the full Senate. AAI signed a joint letter opposing the amendment, and we ask that you tell your senators to oppose profiling in all its forms. When the news broke that the IRS had targeted certain Tea Party groups, there was a national outcry, and rightly so. But the targeting of communities of color doesn't generate the same reaction. Is it any less wrong? The Daily Show with Jon Stewart tackled that question with the help of some profiling victims.
Listen, what's infuriating is that I was profiled.
Yeah.
I was targeted. And it was targeted for what I believe in.
Profiling is wrong.
Right. Profiling is useful in police incidences when you're talking about people getting on an airplane. You're talking about a completely different issue than profiling someone for their political beliefs.
Though it appears to be okay to target someone for their religious beliefs or skin color, it's just not okay to target someone for their political beliefs.
So we shouldn't profile ever, unless it is necessary.
Correct.
Now we just need to get these people to understand how their instances of profiling are completely different.
You've each been profiled.
Yes.
Yeah.
When people say that no one's complaining about being profiled, they're not listening to the people who are being profiled on a daily basis.
And if somehow those people were in the same position, they'd be outraged without seeing the inherent irony.